Ding, ding. Round 2.
What?
Ding, ding. Round 2.
Seriously, what?
Ding, ding. Round 2.
Okay, one more time.
Ding, ding. Round 2.
Nope, didn't understand a damn word of it.
Let's get it started.
When George Lemaitre discovered, proved the Big Bang, the scientific community had a hard time accepting it. In fact, they rejected it because it was too Catholic.
Yep, so far you're on the right track. So what does this have to do with anti-theists like me?
They believed that it answered one of the cosmological proofs for God.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one, but I'll let you have it for now.
Yet, 70 years later, after the WMF satellite proved Lemaitre correct, now we get pompous atheists claiming that the Big Bang is somehow a proof for atheism.
And there it is! You jumped headfirst into a straw man. Congratulations, you have successfully tackled your own straw man. First, the obvious, the Big Bang is just a description of the expansion of the universe. It doesn't prove anything other than the universe is expanding and thus was very small at one point in the past. That's it. That's all it is. Nothing more to it. Second, we don't need proof for rejecting your claims. All we need is for you to continue to not present any demonstrable evidence of a God for us to be justified in rejecting your claim that a God exists. That's what atheist is, literally. Still waiting for you to address us anti-theists in this. I'm hoping it's something really juicy.
And they are acting as if young earth creationism not only is the norm, but has been the norm throughout the last 2,000 years of the church. Nothing could be farther from the truth. In fact, it is an extreme minority existing pretty much only in the Anglophone sphere of influence that hold to a young earth creation.
So you're continuing to attack your strawman here. No, we know that most Christians accept actual science and are not stupid enough to believe the earth is only 6,000 years old. So, if you are not a creationist, then why are you so upset about us addressing them with the ridicule they deserve and ask for?
Not the Roman Catholic Church, which wanted to make the Big Bang a doctrine, or at least a dogma, when Lemaitre was presented it to the Pope and his cardinals.
Please hurry up and get to your point. I have more videos to watch.
The cosmological question that was still open when I was in college has now been answered conclusively. Yes, there is a beginning to the universe.
According to who? No one has shown that there was ever a time in which the universe didn't exist. It is also impossible for something to have a beginning when outside of time, and the universe itself is outside of time. Time is a dimension or force of the universe. Thus, beginning only has meaning within the universe. So please, show us that there was ever a time in which the universe did not exist in one form or another. The singularity is one form of the universe, where everything is scrunched up so small that the laws of physics do not apply to it, which also means that it did not require a beginning. So let's see where he goes from here. This should be rather fun.
And it doesn't look like the universe is going to snap back. It looks like we're headed towards the big freeze, which means no multi-universes, no recycling of this universe. It means
Okay, need to interrupt you again because there are two problems here. Black holes are singularities, and they are likely the same kind of singularity as what the universe once was. So, that means we already have within our universe the potential for other universes to spawn. Not only one new universe, but countless new universes. So it is, in a way, ready to recycle. Multiverse accounts for this. There are other universes out there doing the same dance. What we lack is the mechanism that causes their expansion. Perhaps the heat death itself is that very mechanism. We don't know for certain, but it makes sense.
once, again, if you know anything about cosmology, philosophy points to creator.
Okay, and this is why I say philosophy is bullshit. I'll catch some hate for this, but it's true. Philosophy doesn't point to anything. It's people dreaming and postulating about things. You are trying to use philosophy in place of science, and that is just not how reality works.
But people like Kurt Cameron and Ray Comfort argue atheists who don't know anything about science or theology or cosmology or philosophy.
I agree. They do that on purpose because they can't contend with educated people, but I do agree with what you just stated.
And the atheists are using the Big Bang. It's almost like we've gone into the Twilight Zone.
And I already pointed out how your straw man is a straw man. Skip!
You don't need religion to be a good person. And when I say religion, understand I mean traditionalist Christianity, not evangelicalism or Sunni Islam or, the Thuggee cult or, the religion that the Aztecs practiced where they pulled hearts out of people's bodies. But, you know, traditionalist Christianity.
Um, wait. You said we don't need religion to be good. Then you dismiss all other religions but your own. What the actual fuck is going on here?
Yeah, you do. You need that religion to be a good person.
Wow, 180. Okay, here's the thing. The irony here is that the vast majority of atheists and irreligious people are good people.
Now, there's this wonderful byproduct where if you're raised in a society that has been formed and saturated.
Yeah, you get slavery, bigotry toward minorities, and lots of gun violence. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Shaped by that religion. Now we have a communal consensus of what's right and wrong without, having really to. It's so ingrained that, you know, everybody already believes it, even if they don't know why, even if they don't connect it back to God. That, yeah, you can have people who act good, do good deeds, but it's not in spite of Christianity. It is because they're from a Christian civilization and society.
Then those irreligious nations should be such hellholes. Odd how they're not. Forgot to check them facts, didn't you? A psychology paper did a great analysis of this. I'll include the link in the description. But it is shown that religion plays almost no role in how good we behave. It has been shown that heavily religious regions have a problem with people behaving badly, even by the archaic standards of the Christian religion.
Also, um, human rights. Where do your rights come from?
They come from us. They are rights, not blessings, for a reason. We created the concept of human rights to dismiss the religious idea that certain types of people are less than other types of people. Human rights removes the tribalism that is perpetuated by religion and makes them about the species instead of our lineage. Human rights was not even present until about 1689, when the founders of the U.S. formed the Bill of Rights. Prior to that, the closest was individual rights in the Magna Carta of 1215. The odd part is that even when human rights was first coined, it excluded differing races and women. It wasn't until recently that we started considering them as actual human rights for every human of the species, every member. This has sparked the golden age of equality we are seeing today.
Well, according to the Bill of Rights, according to these documents that we hold so dear in the United States, we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Notice they were careful enough to say creator and not this particular God. This is important.
Yes, they don't come from the government. They come from God. If not from God, then where? You certainly cannot derive them from nature. You could not derive good and evil from nature, nor could you derive a solid right and wrong from nature.
Yes, we can actually. What benefits the species can be said to be good. What is detrimental to the species can be considered evil. This resulted in our empathy evolving to keep our species alive. And empathy is where we get morals from. But I know you'll claim only your God could give us these things. By the way, still waiting for how all of this applies to us anti-theists, as you mentioned earlier.
Genocide, rape, and murder,
Are all condoned and even encouraged in the Bible.
and eugenics. You know, the shit that Hitler was trying to pull?
Who was a Christian and got a lot of support from the Catholic Church.
Without God, and with the destruction of Christianity, there's a good argument to be made for that.
Oh, that's your reason why us anti-theists are such horrible people? Because we oppose genocide, rape, and mass murder? You're not making a great case for yourself here.
If we're getting rid of the idea of sin and God-given rights, I mean, morality goes right out the window with both of those as well.
No, it doesn't. Morality based on empathy is not perfect, but without a doctrine that can be used to convince people to do horrible things, empathy becomes a lot more valuable.
Oh yeah, couldn't tell. I guess I do respect some atheists. I guess so.
And most of us respect you. We just don't believe you.
But atheism is stupid, indefensible, and I think the good people that I like that happen to be atheists are just ignorant.
Why? You've not shown any such thing.
That's it. They God save Serbia, Syria, and Ireland.
What? No, seriously, what? Okay, enough of that. Now, I don't want any hate sent to this poor guy. Again, he's ignorant and blinded by indoctrination and should be educated, not hated. This is not an attack on him. I am addressing his rather silly beliefs. What anti-theism is not about is destroying religion. We want to see people grow past it, to give up their childish superstitions and learn to live in reality. But why is religion so bad? Well, the reason is often glossed over by many atheist people. For this reason, we have a branch of atheists known as anti-theist. The reason beliefs can be dangerous is when they are held above the value of human life, when they are kept as unquestionable. Once any idea is placed above criticism or even ridicule, it becomes corrupted and wrong. Essentially, by claiming that a God cannot be questioned, they admit that the God does not exist. For no fact cannot be questioned. And when questioned, the fact always remains unscathed. If a questioned fact falters, then it is not a fact. It remains nothing more than a claim. Religious leaders know this. This is why they convince their followers to remain oblivious to all doubt, to ignore all questions. The claim of a God is dangerous because it is an idea held above human value, thus granting the people who claim to speak for said God absolute power. Even many Christians are seeing this today. And there are Christians who oppose anyone who claims to speak for their God. Those Christians do not belong to churches. They are free from that oppression, free of those shackles, and I respect them a lot. I send out a challenge to any preacher: defend your claim that you have a right to speak for your God. We know the religious doctrine held today are not the words of any gods, for no such being would make so many obvious mistakes. To show you have a right to speak for a God, your God must appear to tell us directly. Until then, we can consider you all liars.